Very, very good. Why is it a black screen? Hurry up, load. Come on, OBS, I believe in you. I believe in you. There we go. Okay. The camera works for now. For now. It's working for now. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully it stays. Okay, so I have a video to upload. Do we watch it on stream? New cam soon, TM. The problem is that I don't want to just go out and buy another camera, so I'm saving. I have other things that I need to sort out, but financially, but eventually I'll get. This will be the year I get a DSLR camera, or just a nice camera. Doesn't have to be like a 1K camera, just a nice camera. I started to look around a few. Do we watch this video on stream? It's 17.5 minutes long. This might be one of the most boring videos I've ever made, because it's literally nothing going on. It's just me speaking. But then usually these videos don't do too badly. Donka, thank you very much for the 48 gifted subs. You're now at 500 subs in total. Yeah. Yeah. Alright then. What the thank you very much. Should we go and watch this? Yep, you read the title correct. Oh, look, I haven't even... Oh, look, desktop. This one is, I'm sure this will go well. If you're not liking your own video, you're setting yourself up for failure, by the way. Only drop in for vents. Alright, 1 second. I need to actually add the pinned comment as well. This is going to have an interesting comment section, isn't it? And the bummer, thank you very much for the Max. 24 months. 2 years! 2 whole years, the bummer. Thank you very much indeed. Okay, desktop without a cam. And we're just going to... We'll watch through this. Let me mute... Shut up. We're going to be talking about this today. Because recently I've seen people come to me and say, well, now I dropped the RAM on this tank, that tank, and so on and so forth. And in this video, this isn't going to be so much of a, oh, you should never drop the RAM on anything and stuff like that. This is going to be looking at it from both sides of the argument, but then also then putting my reasoning behind why it won't make sense on certain tanks. Do you reckon I could copyright strike myself? The time and a place to drop the rammer, but most of the time you probably shouldn't. We're also going to be diving into vents as well during this, because that is mainly what people are dropping their rammer for, and how vents really doesn't give that much of a benefit, and it's mostly placebo in certain areas. I quite like this. I quite like this, how you can now talk to me while I watch this. This is quite a good idea. I should do this more often for these types of videos. So yeah, as we go through this, you can spam questions at me or whatever, or we'll have some arguments and it'll be quite interesting. As always, this is just my opinion on it, and I will be trying to take into account both arguments from both sides, but at the end of the day, this will be my opinion on the rammer and when it should be dropped, when it shouldn't be dropped. Anything other than the raw stats that you see is just opinions from both sides of the argument. The main argument against having a rammer and why people drop the rammer is that my tank, I never fire on reload, or I want to make sure the accuracy is as good as possible. Any other reasons? Any other reasons in chat that you can think of right now? What are we thinking? Number 3, I don't like doing damage. And therefore, I'll drop the rammer for something else. They are the main 2 arguments that I see regarding dropping the rammer. And to be honest with you, the first one, I can understand their reasoning behind it, because if you're not going to be firing on reload, then yes, this actually makes perfect sense. If you don't fire on reload, what's the point of having a rammer? Because that extra 2 seconds that a rammer would give you is kind of useless if you're not even firing. However, this is where people misunderstand about firing on reload. It is not needed to be firing on reload 24/7. If you are in a game and you are firing on reload even for 4 shots or 2 shots, a rammer has helped you out more than it hasn't helped you out. And most of the time, when you're in a brawling heavy, I don't think that's actually the case. I shouldn't have said that more than it hasn't helped you out, because they could have had something else that would have helped you out more, maybe, in a certain scenario. But still, you understand what I mean by it. You are going to be firing on reload. It doesn't matter what your reload time is, you'll be firing on reload because you'll be brawling. An enemy is always going to be there, and you're always going to be in a position, at least you should be. If not, then that's just bad positioning and not the fault of the rammer, more of the fault of your positioning in the game. But if you are in that brawling environment, then always you will have a shot at an enemy, which then, in my opinion, means that there is no reload time that is too great. In fact, the higher the reload, the more you should be firing on reload, if we think about it. Because then that gives you time to back off, hide, get ready for the next shot, because you'll be reloading, and as you come out, you'll be reloaded, you shoot, you rinse and repeat. You're firing on reload every time. And then on the opposite scale, you would then maybe run into situations where you're not going to be firing reload, and a rammer might not help you because of the fact that you go and hide in between shots. Remember, if you're firing on someone else's reload, not yours, usually the lower reload is worse off. Let's start out by showing you the K91, because this is a pretty good model to show you how everything works. And it's also a very good model to show both sides of the argument. By default, this tank has 5.47 second reload, which is very, very fast. It has 320 alpha, and it has a nearly 11 second rate of fire. If we were to then go ahead and just add a normal rammer, not in the correct slot or anything like that, we can't actually put it in the correct slot for this vehicle, we then get 3.9k DPM, up from the 3.5, which is a 400 DPM increase, which is a full shot of damage and a bit. And then you go down to 4.92 seconds reload. If you were to look at this right now, you would say, yes, I'm choosing a rammer. Because even though that it's half a second, it's still probably worthwhile choosing, because of the fact that even if I'm not going to be firing on reload all the time, the difference there, even if I fire for, say, 30 seconds on reload, or even 10 seconds on reload, say I do just 2 shots in a row, that's still going to give me more DPM than I would have already had, and I can probably get into cover then as well. However, I want to then go ahead and add vents to the tank, and we're even going to go ahead and put it in the correct slot, because you probably will with this vehicle. You'll see that it adds nothing, right? This is nothing being added here. But that's because that's not how vents works. Vents doesn't work well on its own. Vents doesn't work well at all on its own, actually. If it has nothing to go off, it's a social animal, vents is. It needs friends around it. I think we should start calling vents a social animal, by the way. Whenever we see vents, we should always say that it's a social animal now. It doesn't have friends. It's very sad, as you can see, with very pathetic increases just all round. Like 0.32 down to 0.31. What is that? I don't know. Terrain resistances? It makes no difference. Doesn't even help out the stationary camo because it doesn't have a camo crew. So it can't increase that. But what happens when we add on other things to the tanks? Because if this was the case, 100% nobody would use vents instead of a rammer, but people do at the moment. Let's try and understand why. So for our next test, we're then going to add in just brothers in arms with food. They're the only 2 things we're going to add. As you can see, the DPM again has gone up. Reload time been reduced. Nothing else about the vehicle has changed because it's only a rammer. We go ahead, we add brothers in arms, we add in food, we click save. Our DPM has now shot up and reload time has really gone down just from adding those 2 things. Now, not everybody likes using food, and if you don't, then it's probably not worth using vents, to be honest with you. You should probably just stop being a peasant and use food. Just choose something else. But if you were to use food, and I'm going to continue using food as this example, that difference, even I would be questioning in it. Because the DPM difference, past like 4,000, I genuinely, I wouldn't even notice. This has so much DPM that you are killing something in less than a minute, regardless of what it is. And the chance of you firing for a full minute are very low. And now, yes, I'm aware what I've said, you don't need to be firing for a full minute. But the difference in the reload here is negligible. So I can fully understand why people would not bother using a rammer on something like a K91 because it just doesn't really seem worth it. If you're not going to be firing on reload all the time, or say the majority of the time, then yeah, probably don't use it. Now, the difference between vents in the correct slot and bounty vents is not that different, because as you can see, we have 6% here, and then if we go ahead and use bounty vents, that goes up to 7.5%, so we gain 1.5%.
This is quite funny, to be
fair. As you can see, doesn't really make too much of a difference.
It does nothing.
Overall, if we look at it, not really. Bounty vents, if you don't have have room to put vents in the correct slot, then 100% bounty vents. But if you could put bounty vents, or could put normal vents in the correct slot, then it's probably better to just do that. Because, as we can see, the difference between standard vents in the correct slot and bounty vents, not really much difference. But let's go ahead and then say, okay, let's put rammer, bounty rammer on this tank. Now, the difference there is more, yes. But again, for certain people, they probably wouldn't notice the difference. If you're not going to be firing on reload, this is just irrelevant. It's a lot less negligible. That's a full, extra 0.1 of a second difference. Are you going to notice that in game? Probably not. And then just for fun, we had bond vents, which again doesn't really make too much of a difference. And if we were to use,
honestly, bond vents compared to normal vents in the slot really doesn't give much. Like in comparison,
bond rammer, you go down to 4.43. Honestly, for this style of tank, even I would be torn of not using a rammer on it. But that was a K91. What if we used something that would be brawling? What if it was a 907? Because
I've seen people not use a rammer on a 907, by the way.
The K91, you can be a sniper. You can play it a little bit more passively. 907, high requirements. You want to be brawling, doing as much damage as you can, firing on reload pretty much all the time. At least that's the optimal situation for it. If we add a rammer with the Brothers in Arms and food all the way down to 5.2, which is optimal for this vehicle. If we were to then go ahead and say, okay, well, I'm going to change this now. We're going to put vents in here instead. We'll keep the rest of it, so Brothers in Arms and also the food. We now have 5.69 second reload. Now, some people may look at this and say, yeah, there's no point. There is 100% a point to having a rammer on a 907. Because for this vehicle, you want to be firing on reload. If you're not firing on reload, you're not in position. And the positioning is 100% the biggest key factor to water tanks, over literally anything else. Once you know the maps and you know the positions and you work those positions, you can do so much damage to the enemy team, and you should be firing on reload. The 907 in particular can side-scrape, can be annoying, and just be a little kind of like a rat that just doesn't die and just keeps nibbling at you. So 100% you want that 5.2 second reload. I would say the same goes for the 140, but to be honest with you, the 140 is a little bit less of a brawler than a 907, so that may be more up for debate. I don't know. But the biggest takeaway that I found when I've been looking at this...
Also, I don't know anybody that willingly will play a 140.
And this has been quite eye-opening for me, is that the lower the reload time, the more questionable it is to have a rammer, because it doesn't really provide you with that much benefit. And vents, in conjunction with everything else, remember, it's a social animal, right? The vents is. If it's combined with all of its friends, it's actually quite nice. Whereas the rammer is just a flat DPM increase, and on these super low reload time tanks, I don't really think that it's always the correct answer. Now, we're going to step it up to the IS-7, which is a big step in the reload department. This then goes up to 13.14 seconds. Now,
right, boys, here we go. This is where we learn.
If we were to go ahead and add in just a rammer, that reload time goes down to 11.82. Now, that's a substantial difference. That's a very, very big increase. And for a tank like the IS-7, it's actually very, very important that you have that reload time. Because I would say if you're anything past, say, like 8 seconds reload, maybe 7 seconds reload, that then gives you enough time to then peek back, reload, peek out, shoot, do that peekaboo kind of movement, side scraping if you can. But anything past, say, like 7 or 8 seconds, you should be firing on reload.
What do you think is the time that you can fire on reload? So like what I said there, where it's about 7 seconds. When do you think is too short of a time where you wouldn't be able to fire on reload? For a brawling tank, it doesn't matter. But for a tank that moves around the map, where it's like that short of a reload time, where you're more often than not going to be firing reload. So like if an enemy is kind of, you know, peeking now and again, because you need to take into consideration the enemy's reload time as well. So like on average, what do you reckon the reload time is of tanks?
If you're in a brawling tank. If you're not in a brawling tank, then it's a completely different story, and I'll move on to that later on. But this 11 seconds reload is 100% you should be firing on reload every single time. That gives you more than enough time to position yourself ready for the next shot after you've just fired your last one. But again, adding into the equation vents doesn't really make any difference. But again, we need to have all of its friends with us. That looks a lot more enticing.
I wish I had as many friends.
We have not added its friends to Rammer, so we now need to do that. And again, we're now nearly a full second faster at firing than the other tank. Now, will you notice a second? Lots of you will say no. However, as I've just said, this is a brawling heavy tank. You should have already figured out where you're going next, who your next target is, and as you're reloading, you find an angle to shoot them. Firing on reload is the biggest thing you can do in this type of tank. And it's just almost imperative that you do fire and reload, because that is how you're going to get the most out of this tank. So anything you can do to boost up the DPM is important with the IS-7. Now you may say, well, I like to use off-road driving and then I put vents on it so then it boosts the off-road driving. That's a very valid point. But let's go ahead and take a look at the graph. Both of these tanks are IS-7s. One has vents, and they both have off-road driving and brothers in arms, as you can see here. If we were to go ahead and look at the speed across all terrain types, after 35 seconds, you have gained basically 1 km/h difference between having vents and not having vents. I don't know about you, but that doesn't seem worth it to me. And that's on hard terrain. On medium, the same thing kind of applies. In fact, exactly the same thing applies. It is a km/h difference. And on soft, exactly the same again. So saying that you're going to use vents to boost up off-road driving, yes, it does affect off-road driving. You are correct, but not in as much of a difference as you may think. If we were to go ahead and put this as bond vents, then the difference is a little bit more, but still not massively more. As you can see, we have now, what, a 1.5 km/h difference? Something like that. You see my point about this? Like, the difference is very, very minuscule. Now, if you were to use vents in conjunction with a turbo, and then let's say that we just had a normal bond turbo, but just a bond turbo on one tank, and then you had vents on the other tank, then the difference, again, is, yeah, no different, really. You just go faster, but the difference is still roughly the same. So, it doesn't really make sense, is what I'm saying. To choose vents if you want to go faster. Yes, it does make you go faster. I'm not denying that. But the difference, I don't think you'll notice. So I've set up these two IS-7s with how I would set them up. We have HP Turbo Rammer for one, and then we have...
I tried vents and it feels like IAU. You're just getting confirmation bias. I had the same thing when I was doing the Gorilla video. You just get confirmation bias. Because you've picked it, you then think that you're more accurate, and you notice when you don't miss shots. You confirm to yourself that, yes, I am now more accurate, therefore I am always more accurate. And it really doesn't make any difference on the grand scheme of things.
HP Turbo Vents for the other. They both just have brothers in arms, because that's the only thing that's actually going to affect the DPM, or at least regarding vents, it would help out more. So that is there on both of these tanks, and you'll see the difference is quite big. 10.76 seconds reload versus 11.92. That is quite a big difference for these tanks. And considering that they don't really go much faster than each other either, regarding the terrain distances, as we've already mentioned, regarding this graph, I definitely know which one I'd rather have. And I know that some of you will be looking at this and saying, well, vents helps out more than just DPM. Choose the other perks and you'll see a massive difference. The difference isn't that massive. As long as you have the perks selected, that is the main thing that's going to boost it. Vents will only boost it by a little bit. It's not like it's going to boost it by a massive amount. Any tank that is going to be brawling and you will be firing on reload, you choose a rammer. And that basically goes for any heavy tank.
as long as it brawls. There are some heavy tanks which are questionable brawlers, and then maybe that's something a bit different. But then again, that also then depends on what the reload time is. This also goes for anything higher than this. Again, if it's a brawling tank, Jagdpan Z100. Nobody should be dropping their ammo on a Jagdpan Z100. If you're not firing on reload with a Jagdpan Z100, I really don't know what you're doing. Because you should be brawling and firing on reload every single time. And lowering that reload is the best way of getting more damage. And with more damage comes more wins. Now, there are tanks in the game which I think have high reloads that you should probably drop the rammer on. Or at least not outright drop the rammer, but consider it. Depending on what your playstyle is.
Boys, can we stop mentioning tanks that you can't put a rammer on as the tanks that we should drop the rammer on? What heavy tanks are questionable brawlers? The Rhino and the 50B. Ah, yes, 2 tanks that you can't put a rammer on anyway.
4005 is already a given. Lots of people drop the rammer. This is probably the first tank that kind of started to drop the rammer because it has a long reload time, the gun is horribly inaccurate, and you need to hit every single shot. So I can understand dropping the rammer on an FE 4005, and I think the majority of people can as well. But what about tanks like a Gorilla 15? Should you drop the rammer on this? You're not always going to be firing on reload. Most of the time, you're going to be at the back of the map, waiting for a target. You shoot every so often. You don't always fire on reload. Well, to this tank, it heavily depends. Because I don't think there's a right or wrong answer for this. Certain people will play the tank differently. If they want to drop the rammer because they are going to be playing right at the back of the map and then never fire on reload, then 100% drop the rammer, do something else. You can't put vents on it, but you could maybe drop it for something else. Like let's say, for example, you could go for something like this type of build. We have low noise exhaust because the Gorilla's camo rating is god awful, and you have a experimental turbo, which again doesn't actually increase the gun handling, it just negates the loss from the turbo, and they have IU. But then it does bring up the question of why would I use this when it doesn't really make too much of a difference? Like if we're looking at this base stats values, you go from having a 7% camo rating to a 14% camo rating, you're still going to get spotted. The Gorilla's camo is awful. And even if you were to go ahead, paint the vehicle, put food on it, put camo on it as well, you still only have 26% camo. So it's probably not worth using low noise exhaust, which doesn't leave you with a lot of options. If you could put vents on it, then they'll be so much better, but you can't. So what do you choose? IRM to increase the traverse speed. Again, this doesn't actually increase the gun handling unless you're moving extremely slow. And even then, there's a cutoff point where it starts to then go faster because you've reached the maximum traverse speed. But that's way too much detail. You probably just choose a rammer, don't you? So then, yeah, you just choose this? You see what I mean? It's very weird. It doesn't matter with this tank, because I don't really think no matter what you put on this tank, it's not going to improve the situation you can get yourself into. But either way, hopefully this was eye-opening, maybe. Hopefully this helped you out with understanding why people are dropping the rammer, and also my opinions on it, and why you probably shouldn't drop the rammer on the vast majority of tanks. But then for some vehicles, yeah, I can understand why. So yeah, this is an open discussion in the comments. Let me know your thoughts, and keep it civil, I guess. But yeah, there's no real right or wrong answer here because it's just an opinion at the end of the day. But there are certain tanks that definitely make sense or make more sense to drop the rammer or keep the rammer than others.
Why is this one of the recommended videos? What the f... Anyway. What do we think, chat? What do we think? Where's the piano music? What do we think? What are the arguments against it? I also need to go into this and change the... Oh, load up. We can have this back as well. Oh no, it was quite interesting to me to make that video. Because especially with the low reload time ones, like it actually makes more sense to probably choose vents than it would do to have rammer. Like on certain tanks that don't brawl, obviously. I think you should make a video on why people shouldn't use a rammer on RT.
end screen. Choose specific video. That one. There we go. That's what I want them to link to. I just don't think that people realize how little vents actually does give half the time. Like, you would need a lot. If you have a lot of perks, it then amplifies vents because then it works well with everything. But it's not necessarily the best. Like, I especially don't see a single reason why you would not pick a rammer on a heavy tank. Because we've already shown that the vents doesn't give enough of an accuracy boost, even with all the, like if you have armor and stuff like that, like it still won't give a big enough accuracy boost. The more people play with vents over a rammer, the easier rounds would be. So I can't complain. Itox can keep his 5k DPGs, it's fine. It's alright. If enough people choose vents over a rammer, maybe one day I'll become a 4k gamer. Feels good, man. I wouldn't say that every single... Listen, if you're a brawling tank and you have a sub 10-second reload, you should still use a rammer. Some tanks can't hit a target in close combat. Vents is not going to magically help that. But yeah, like as I said, with some medium tanks that have a low enough reload time, I wouldn't say anything below 10 seconds. I think if you've got a 10-second reload, you should still use a rammer. Because it still makes more sense. But I think that under like... under 6, maybe, you can then question it. Like 6 or 7 seconds, maybe? I don't know. That's only if the tank really needs something else, though. Like, if it doesn't need anything else, then you just put a rammer on it. I mean, genuinely, the god tier setup is HP rammer vents, if you can do it. And your tank doesn't need a turbo. But if it needs a turbo, then you obviously drop the vents for a turbo. So, I don't know. We'll see. Let's... I'll leave the link up for it as well. Yep, you read the title. Shut up, Max. We'll just pin this. I don't have the chat things on. Show mod icons. Pin. There we go. Wicked. Yeah, with the amount of turbo games, it's important as well. Yeah, that's true. Right, what's the time? 4, 5, 6. That's a bit annoying, but I'll put one on at the end for everyone. That's fine. It won't automatically do it, unfortunately. But yeah. It is time to make many, many credits. Yeah, the M103M doesn't look too good, does it? It doesn't look the best. The gun dispersion also is, questionable. Yeah, it was nice, and then they nerfed it. Only 2 days left of credit grinding, chat. I'll probably credit grind a little bit on the weekend maybe, but with some friends, but not on stream. I don't know. I hate it when they nerf tanks gun handling. It just makes it annoying to play. Like, could you not just give it a weak spot and just be happy? Make it have good gun handling? Can we bring that era of water tanks back, where tanks were actually playable, but had weak spots? I don't know what that is. I have overfill. I can't wait for the comments on this video though. What? Hang on. The starting off bit. The worse you are, the more it makes sense to drop the rammer. The better you are, the more important DPM is. They're not actually wrong with that statement. They're just... Because most of the time, people that are like that, they just don't know how to play. They don't know about positioning and stuff like that, so... Like me. I don't know what's over here. Also, we're losing the mid, which is lovely. It's alright, I'm not firing on reload because I don't have a rammer. It's all good. We have the social creature instead. I'm debating if I want to go up, kill this, and then go back around. I'll probably do. I hate when a map turns into this, where it's kind of like no one can push it, unless you were lucky, I guess, and chose to go C1. Not that I'd want to go C1 on this map ever. Like, usually it's like a 50-50 whether or not you get action at C1. Will I even be able to shoot this? I won't even be able to shoot any of them, so... Well, I guess up we go. See, chat, that was the power of vents right there. Do we spot any of these? I mean, he only hit 2. There's still the hurry 1 as well. The power of socializing, yes. The power of socializing is what we should call it. I don't actually know if I have a shot on this. Oh, I do. Fire? No fire. Nah, 50-50 tracking though. I don't really rate the IRM that highly, to be honest. I think if you have stab, it's more than good enough most of the time. There's not that many tanks that need it, unless it's a really, really rapid firing gun. The Cobra benefits from it, when you have IRM and V-stab. Maybe the TVP would benefit from it as well. But at the same time, there's also nicer equipment to choose, so I don't know. Like with TVP, you could maybe choose like hardening, IRM, V-stab or something. Maybe vents if you don't want hardening. But I'd only use it on tanks that have a really rapid interclip. Oh wait, I actually need to buy. I need to buy the Type 71 before I forget. I know it lasts forever, but I need to buy it just before I forget it. Yeah, yeah. There's not really much reason to like not use hardening on the vast majority of tanks. But I kind of like it. I kind of like this setup, but it's honestly just down to personal preference. It doesn't really matter. Like on tier 8s, I've started to not bother because I've been matched up against tier 9 and tier 10 so often that the hardening just does nothing. I'm going to die regardless, and I'm going to get tracked in the first shot regardless. So I kind of just stopped caring about it. It's worth getting E100 now. With the new buff, it's going to be mental. I mean, we've done our damage, but we've taken a lot of damage in return. Where'd they hit? Just straight through the turret. Pretty fun, man. Yeah, it could do. As I said, it's just kind of down to personal preference. It doesn't really matter. You've played 20 to 30 games in hurry free and I can't make that shit work. The shots go left, right and play more aggressive. No, you don't play aggressive the hurry free. I've had that mistake. It's not a mini Jagdpanzer. That tank just needs to play at like mid-range. I'm not gonna lie, that was an impressive peak. Like that was an impressive peak. I think this game's pretty much over. They push through that flank and then they're going to be around them. Are you hardening? I got rid of hardening on the Ho-Re because I didn't brawl with it. I use vents, turbo, rammer. Doesn't need IAU. How do you brawl? You just don't. It doesn't have the armor to brawl. But you have 300 effective superstructure, which sometimes will bounce stuff, but most of the time you're just going to get shot straight through with premium, so it really doesn't have armor. Interesting. It's still the STRV though. Mate, I don't really know what he was expecting to happen there. Does he really expect me to come down and try to, you know, help him out with 500 health? I do need a lot more damage though, but I don't know how the hell I'm going to do it. No, I'm definitely a one shot. If it's donations or tips, then it's like 95% or something. It's whatever PayPal takes. Or from whatever program they use or website they use. For subs and stuff, it depends. Like I get 70-30 split on tier 3s. I get 60-40 on tier 2s and then 50-50 on tier 1s. And then bits are... I don't know what they take. I think it's 70-30 on bits. I don't know actually off the top of my head. No. If it's a tip or donation, the streamer gets basically all of it. Because it's not done through Twitch. Obviously, we then have to declare it as tax. So, you know, we'll then get a set amount knocked off of it or whatever, but that's the same for all of our income. Oh, hello. Huh? Okay. Really? He just goes up. He doesn't care. Yeah, go on M454. It's your turn to go up there. You'll be fine. This guy's so lucky, man. Okay. Go on, peek it. You'll be fine. Yeah, go on, a bit more forwards. I wonder why people just spam gold. No reason. No reason at all. God, this is just depressing. Honestly, the standard rounds on this tank might be some of the most depressing rounds I've ever seen on a tank. Really? That's a pen? Okay then. Very fun. That was a great game. I can't wait to actually just spam gold and use food. It's so depressing doing this. But I don't want to just waste it on this tank playing it. No, no, no. Do you know what? It's not even that gold ammo is the issue. It's that tanks don't have weak spots. And the weak spots on the tanks are requiring gold ammo. Like, why? But that's the real issue with the game. That every single tank is just a hold down vehicle and it requires gold to even pen the weak spots of tanks. Like, it used to be that if you spammed gold, you're kind of just a bit stupid because you're just wasting your own credits at the end of the day. Because you could just pen weak spots and whatnot. But now it's like you need gold to even just go through those weak spots. Especially on some tanks which have ridiculously low pen. Yeah. The T-54 Mod 1. Like, why would you ever shoot the standard round? 190 pen versus like 240 or something, isn't it? But even then, it can't go through weak spots sometimes. What? Of its own tier, by the way. Like, that even has preferential matchmaking. Like, the gold ammo spam is not actually the issue. The game design is the issue. Like, the map design does not induce like any flanking to go on. Like, look, I'm stuck on this corridor of the map. They're stuck on this corridor of the map. If they go to the middle, they're then just stuck in the middle. Like, on this map, it's a little bit weird because you have this corridor, and then like, diagonal corridor, and then this corridor again. This was apparently my best map, according to Wargaming, in my my report. That was for Big Nooba. Apparently this was my favourite map to play on. I excelled on this map. And then Fjords was my favourite map for my main account. Yeah, I don't know how that works out either. I mean, it was better than whoever posted in my Discord who had Hinterland as their best map. Oh. No. The power of socializing has not helped me here. Do I just push this? I guess so. I guess I just push this. Alright. I'll tell you one thing Vents is quite nice for, and the main reason why I even bother with it on this tank is just to get to the 445 meters detection range or spotting range. So that if someone does have really, really bad camo, you can actually spot them at distance. Not that you would ever really need that on this tank, but it is kind of nice to have. That's not really the tank I wanted to see here, if I'm honest. It's alright, the power of my... Oh, he's using the small gun! How does that bounce? I don't play much anymore. I come back every now and then, especially for Christmas. So I really enjoy fun. I know the map's so large. Many players respond. 2x love it. Yeah. Okay. Team diff uninstall. Well, I am a bot. Still got Vicar and ISU. I'm a little bit scared of pushing this. I think as long as one of us just sits in the cap, we should be fine. Friends? Any friends? ISU friend? Oh, ISU friend. Where you at? This may hurt. Where did you come from? Watch him bounce. Oh. Not completely awful. We might get it back at some stage. Who knows? Wait. Who was the one that... This guy. Just team difference. Uninstall. Yeah. It's just a team difference, chat. Just uninstall the game. Okay? I may go back to using hardening though. I don't know. Ugh. How much more view range do I get? Ugh. Accuracy? It jumps down quite a bit, to be fair, on this tank. Because the accuracy is already quite high. What about this? 0.35. I can't be bothered to go... Wait, is it here? No? Wait. Let's use a tank that actually has good standard pen. That might be a good idea. One sec. See you later, Donker. Thank you very much for the gift subs. See, this tank, it doesn't... Even if I could mount vents on this tank, it still wouldn't make sense to do it. like over a rammer, because what the hell am I going to pick? Like if I could put vents on this tank, I'll just drop the optics or the hardening, like one of the two. Wojtek. That's good. Oh, he's having fun. Oh. He's not had fun. I don't even know what I have banned currently. Oh no. It's okay. Listen, the defender enjoyed himself massively while playing this game. Oh wait, I completely forgot. Who asked what the most like easy to play tier 8 med was? Someone asked right at the start. Are you still here? Go away! I wouldn't say the CS, no. Like the most noob-friendly tank at tier 8. You need something that's forgiving, has armor. Good gun. See, I don't really know. Like, what would be the nicest tank to play at tier 8? I mean, Progetto is really nice, but it's not that forgiving, because it doesn't have the armor. So I wouldn't really call it noob friendly. Iron Arnie? Nah. The gun's too troll for most people. 122 TM's pretty good, yeah. Yeah, but the AT-60 doesn't have armor. I mean, just anything, to be honest. It doesn't have to be something we can buy right now. Turtle? Turtle's pretty noob friendly. You're just slow though. It's good in every other way though. They will sell it eventually, yeah. The only tanks that they haven't sold are the BZ-176 and the EBR. Noobs are sniping it. Well, there's nothing to stop that, unfortunately. Doesn't matter what tank you could say that people should do or go and play, they're still gonna sniping it. Even a bloody lava. T-55A being here is my death. Because he'll just spam heat straight through me. Please let me down here. Listen, man, please. And shell cost doesn't matter towards the earning. All the tanks have different credit multipliers that they all earn roughly the same. The shell cost shouldn't be a factor of you choosing a tank. It's a good tank, but just because the shell cost is low doesn't mean that it will necessarily earn loads of credits. One thing the shell cost will help with is if you miss a lot, but then, I mean, you know. Oh, why can my team not just kill these? Really? Please die. Everyone is dying now. Really? This is depressing to try and get damage here. I wouldn't recommend the Grom to a new player either. That will get them just death instantly. Can't wait for them to snipe on the red line. Well, I can't go into here to then shoot this because the... That exists. Lovely. I don't think this guy's going to peek this again. Just waiting to die from this guy now. Which is always fun. Hi. Do you reckon the camp panzer really doesn't like this SU very much? Oh, he pens it now. I don't know, we just didn't have a team ready, did we? They just flopped. Yeah, the camp panzer's good. I probably prefer it over the concept, to be honest. The concept's not that nice to play, to be honest. Because you need to be facing one person at a time. If there's more than one, you just get shot in the side of the turret. That's the most frustrating thing about it. You have a fear of the unknown? Not really. Not in particular. Depends what it is. Like the unknown of what? Yeah, the concept gun is not too bad, but it's not like super nice. Oh, for God's sake, man. This bloody map. Like, how... I can't even spot him either. Jesus was a pile of shit. G-Saw is absolutely useless. DPM ruins the tank. I'm a bit worried about them just overpeaking this. I don't know why anybody would want to play the G-Saw 1008. There's another loot box tank that I had such high hopes for, looking at the stats, and then just pure depression after playing it. Oh my god. Sorry, my bad. I tried to push forwards. I realised that on this map you can't do anything. They really need to sort this map out, by the way. They should just probably remove it from Assault. It's so one-sided. Whatever, just kill me. Let me get into my next tank, please. Goodbye. It's unbelievable how bad that map is for attacking. G-Saw's not even hard to play. That's not the issue with the tank. The G-Saw is bad because it doesn't have DPM. You have a horrible, horrible reload time on that tank. No armor, no health. Gun handling's atrocious. Like, there's just nothing nice about it. This could be not that bad. Yeah, but it's nice to have a challenge for a tank that has potential. The G-Saw doesn't have potential. I always forget how bad the gun arc is on this tank, though. Always. Whatever, man. I'm not gonna lie, I am starting to get really, really bored of playing tier 8s. Like, really, really bored of this. Nah, tier 8's just boring. Like, at least with tier 10, there's so many different tanks to play. Not to mention, you don't get +2. I think next week we might play some, what are they called? Some Foch 155. Probably for only a day. Oh, it's an E or C even 90 as well. Even 90s right here. Well, I guess we just go to the city and just see how this goes. This guy's about to die. Oh, I don't have any tank destroyers watching. Do you reckon he pushes this? Maybe. It's so awkward to play this. Just knowing that you can get two-shot by everything around that corner. Come on, phase 1. I can't really peek that.
Happy anniversary, babe. Did you also know 55 is the largest triangular number in the Fibonacci sequence? Point.
No, I did not know that. Thank you, Jack. I am now well enlightened. Thank you. I'm not gonna lie, this game is proper testing me. I could just go and play tier 10 and just spam no gold, and I would have a more fun time. Oh, good. Excellent. Well, I mean, I guess we're just dead here. Bloody hell, man. I don't know. Are there any tier 9 premiums that are good? None that earn me credits. I am not having a fun time playing tier 8. He already goes 50. He doesn't need that then. This? Do I not take this off? I guess actually we could use vents just to boost up the DPM even more. Kind of needs it, doesn't it? What's a reload time? Nah, I think we'll go for hardening. Maybe this will be the savior tank. Oh my god. Alright, you know what? We're choosing optics. Because bloody hell, this thing is blind. Not that I'm going to be probably doing a lot of spotting with this thing, but you never know. There's Rama. Come here. That was depressing. I should have really picked CVS, to be fair. Because this map is very annoying. By using the Contra exploit, will you get banned? I have no idea. I have not used it. I don't know Wargaming's stance on it. I have not asked Wargaming. I have no clue what is going on about it. I know I said I should have used CVS. Because these bushes are very annoying. How much of this can I show? What? Oh, Blesk had fun. I do like the gun on this tank a lot, though. This tank's gun does actually perform most of the time. This is why you want CVS, man. What are some of these random comments in chat? Can you tell me your username? What? Huh? It's literally displayed. I Where are we going to go? I don't know how to get into this game. This is just a painful start, man. Oh, I've spotted a Lorraine. The Lorraine has disappeared. I mean, I need optics just to even get half decent view range on this tank, so... At least if I don't use food. I'm glad you've watched a lot of my vids, the fan. Thank you. I do kind of wish I was in the city now. Oh my god, there's a... I don't know whether the Hori 2 is right in front of us or if he's all the way at the very back of the map. I think that he's at the back of the map. I think so. Can I spot this XM? Probably not with that amount of bushes. Oh, I've spotted a different XM instead. Well, it's a good job I didn't shoot, because I would have probably died. Is he going back? It would, but I bought a load of food and I don't want to just use it on tier 8 premiums. Especially when I'm not trying to mark the tank or anything like that. I'm just literally playing the tank just to get some credits. Like if I'm going for as many credits as possible, I'm not going to bother using food. There's a whole reason why I've not got gold either. The Hori 2 killed that. It wasn't the XM that fired. There's no way that I can't see that. Man, the bushes are so broken on this map. A big, fat, bloody XM I cannot see in those bushes. Every single time I play this map, I need to remind myself to use CVS. Because those bushes are pathetic, man. They're so dumb. Oh, what other tank could I play? That gets set on fire too much. Oh look, should we play this for the first time? First time I'll ever play this tank. Well, on this account. I need to take some stuff off. Let's take you off. Let's take you off. Do we have a spare stab? Because I remember... Am I remembering this correctly that this definitely does need stab? Wait. I might not be remembering it. Hang on. Oh, this is still like 400%. There we go. 56 TP. Yeah, it needs stab. Yoink, 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 and yoink. And everything's coming out of game. This wasn't too bad of a game, to be fair. I mean, credit earning wise. Would have been a lot more. Yep, that'll do. I can't wait to play this vehicle. This is one of my favourite vehicles in the entire game. I also need to activate boosters. I still have time, so I keep forgetting. Get in. One sec. I need... Right, the fan, you're being weird. Why are you being weird? Like, just be normal. This thing isn't available anymore, right? Rightfully so. I don't know. I can't even remember how you got this thing. It was a mission marathon, no? Or battle pass. Yeah, this is like the best tank in World of Tanks. It's so good, man. Loads of armor. Absolutely tons. Provided they're Stevie Wonder. But isn't the gun okay on this? Like, once it hits? But this is a lot like the, like a 122 TM, but heavy tank. Yeah, this has 390 alpha, see? 390-day reload as well. Honestly, because of the turret rotation dispersion, is not that bad. It's not too bad with stab. I mean, it would be nice if the enemy team could just stop dying instantly. No, I don't platoon with anyone. Not unless I know them. Hello, I'm Wolf. Just look at this. The power of the 5060. Matt, the fan, stop being weird. Like, seriously, you just... These are just weird questions. What on earth is going on over here? Yep, that's exactly how it works. You say hi, pleased to meet you, now we know each other. Perfect. Chat, this might have been a mistake choosing this tank. I thoroughly regret my decision. What's the alpha on the HE? Ooh. Oh. Wait, what is the alpha? 530. That's actually nice. That's not so nice. At least he's dead now. Do you know what best time to play the Lynx is? Definitely during holiday ops. Yeah. You should definitely do during holiday ops so you get all the EBR 75s against you. That's pretty good. Right, can I just retreat from here? I don't want to be up here anymore. I don't even know what I'm doing up here, if I'm being honest. Oh, he's behind it. Are you not enjoying yourself, chat? With this nice leisurely drive with the 56 TP. Just imagine this, right? We're 4 numbers away from the 60 TP. That must mean it's good. You're salty for the last 40 minutes? What, being annoyed that the matchmaker? And just not wanting to play tier 8s anymore? Yeah, we all get annoyed. What about it? I'm sorry, maybe I should just, you know, fake my emotions and just be so happy all the time. I don't know what people want from me with that type of comment, though. I mean, one day we might be able to do something. Is it flat at the front or piked? A bit piked. The armor might as well be flat. We love this tank. It's alright, we're about to unlock the next superpower of this tank. Which is apparently going back to the garage. That's pretty fun. Yeah. I see why I didn't play this tank on my main account now. The garage is my favourite place. Nobody can hurt you there. Yeah. Poor 56 TP. One day he'll get a buff. One day. That day won't come soon, but one day it might. Oh dear. Yeah, we'll go to the right. I'm not going to go to the mid. I was debating going to the mid then shooting across, but I don't think it's worth it. Although, if no one's going to come with me, then this is a bit depressing. Alright, never mind. We're not going to the mid. Sorry, we're not going to the right. Because what is the point? Well, it's time to sit a little bit further back from the mid and see if we can shoot anyone. Fun. We like G-Saw Enjoyers. G-Saw Enjoyers are our favourite snack. Along with Pattern Enjoyers. It would have been quite funny if it did hit, though. I think he would have been quite angry if that hit, to be fair. I wonder if I can actually go all the way into the mid now. Soon we'll have Rambo Enjoyers, yeah. There's the 101. Yeah, but you couldn't have all the, like, ultra-offensive voice lines, though. Well, you can have all the swearing anyway. Right, well, we need more vision. At the moment, we have no vision. He's jumping off, okay. This is excellent. Carl Pilkington! Jesus Christ. What did you just get hit by? Not spotted. It's not going exactly where I want it, but... The problem at the moment that I'm facing is that I don't know if they're up here. This tank is performing much better when I don't aim the shot. I am truly wondering why I'm even bothering aiming with this tank. I'd love all three of them in a tank. Big assistance. No one else wants to shoot him, apparently. Not too bad in the end. It's decent combined, not very decent damage though. We didn't hit anything blind. Noob damage? Ah, no, Mankey. Absolute bot. Evil Bindi, thank you very much for the prime. Thank you. At least we earn credits. Only 12 million out so far though. It's not loads. Yeah, this tank can go back to being forgotten about. Goodbye 56 TP. What's next that we could play? Chat, we could play our favourite. What speed does this go at? 40. Alright, let the highest accuracy T103 without food, but it's time. Nothing could possibly go wrong here. It's a wonderful machine. Do we even have field mods? Oh, we found a game. Unfortunate. What do we think, chat? DPG damage predictions for this game? Yes, the exit button is purely there just to find a game faster. This is true. 3k, 3.5, 2.5k. I mean, this is the most accurate build you can make without using food, so, you know. It's really accurate. Very, very good machine as well. This is the same... Like, this is as good as the 56 TP. It's pretty good, I know. In fact, it's even better. I forgot about the shell speed. 870. Okay, 870 across the board, though. Huge damage. Monstrous. He's struggling a little bit, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, I'm not too sure what he was doing. He had fun. This whole accuracy thing isn't going so well. Why are all my shells going so high, though? Like, I get that it's 870, but bloody hell, it's like I'm throwing them. Oh. There's someone in the middle. Just ignore the problem, okay? I would like to shoot that, but I don't really have a way of shooting it. Not like I can side scrape. Caliban is there as well. I can't go out wide because I get shot from the T-103 over the other side as well. Which is a bit of a problem. I mean, let's just try and side scrape. He can't really side scrape, but you know. In a miracle, they managed to not hit. Ah! That's illegal! Ah! Go away. Oh no. Stop looking at me! For God's sake, man. It's such a big turd. Like, look at it. You know, we're speaking about Carl Pilkington. This is literally his head. It's as close as we're gonna get in game, okay? Oh, sorry. The IS-7 turret? Mate, that's flat! That's not perfectly round. Can I shoot the T-103? I'm ready to shoot him. He's managed to kill a Barras without getting spotted. I don't know how a T-103 doesn't get spotted, but he's managed to do it. Right, back to causing havoc over here. Hello, friends. I've arrived. Oh. It's best if you don't ask. Well, there's no issue for the Chrysler K though. Oh, this thing, man. Not an enjoyable experience. Not an enjoyable experience. Like, none of these tanks I really want to play. know, they don't ooze enthusiasm out of me. W0120 is fun. Yeah, but the gun is so annoying with the aim time. And bloom. 114. Adventurous are we today? We go to the left-hand side, we try and play over there. I think is the best option. I think that is the best way of doing this. What's everybody's shortest win time, by the way, from the yearly recap? Last year, my most watched stream, Max. Nice. Feels good, man. And hopefully I'll stream some more this year. I just need to work it all out. Like, work out a schedule. Sort it out, you know. $149. That's impressive. Mine was 2 minutes 2 seconds. Crazy taking into consideration my streams one time. Hello, Skoda friend. Won't be able to see that anyway. Enemy team. Ugh. I know the Skoda's over the other side, but it's better than the lazy translation we got last year. But I remember last year's translation was your fastest win. How you did that? So at least they've changed it. Where'd you find that info? On the website. On the Wargaming website. World of Tanks website, I should say. Do we spot a T-103? Ping! No T-103. Yeah, you get a day of premium for watching it. I can't remember if I claimed mine or not. No, I really don't need a day of premium. It does all help though. Did that light tank die? Oh. Yeah, that's not great. I don't even know what the Skoda's on. My second most played class this year is artillery. Manky. That's an issue. Oh, we spotted that. Are we going to spot the Skoda? Probably not. It's actually pretty massive that he missed too, though. At least he can't kill me. Unless he sets me on fire, ammo racks me. Yeah, actually, if he sets me on fire, we're fine. Please, no ammo racky. He reloaded. Okay. I don't know. I don't even know what this is. I need to remove it because it auto comes on whenever you choose the mod. It's annoying. What's this? Your most played researchable vehicles. The FV3805. Well done. The M5355 and the 212A. Mankey, I think you have a problem, mate. Can I disable these dog tags? Oh, remove dog tags. Yes. There we go. Shell penetration range and damage. So I could do this and it adds that. Okay, let's test that. Right. I don't want any of this. Show player statistics. No. Good. $16 million. Can we... Wait. We need to go ahead and buy this. Whoa, big discount, chat. Big discount. Wait, do I want a crew? I don't know if I have a crew or not. Yeah, I do have a crew. I do have a crew already. It's in the thingy. This will be quite nice once it's up. Once it gets thingy. Once it gets buffed. Yeah, I have the Type 63. There you go, you can train that. I hope to see in what EU assault artillery like Russia will. I don't want assault artillery. No thanks. We need less artillery, not more. Right. I think I'm done. I think I've had enough today. I think that has been more than enough World of Tanks today. Yeah, I'll be... I don't know when I'm going to be live tomorrow. I'll be live at some point tomorrow. I still need to work it out. But yeah, I'm trying to work out a schedule. It's annoying to work out because there's so much that I need to do. The video's already out. Video is already out. So yeah, I will see you tomorrow at some point. I don't know whether or not it'll be in the evening or in the morning. But yeah, we'll grind some credits again. We'll try and get back up to, well, a lot. And yeah. We'll see. We'll see. It annoys me a lot that I don't know how to schedule this, but I'm working it out. So, yeah. I'll work it out eventually. Anyway, thank you very much for hanging out. Thank you very much for stopping by, and I'll see you all tomorrow.